Welcome to today's training from signed listing to active listing. A successful listing launch doesn't happen by accident. It happens through preparation, systems, and execution. In this training, you'll learn the step-by-step process for moving a property from a signed listing agreement to an active listing that is compliant, professionally marketed, and ready to attract buyers. Our goal is to create consistency, eliminate missteps, and ensure every listing is launched with excellence. Let's dive into the process. Step 1. Secure the listing. Congratulations! Your seller has agreed to hire you. Before leaving the listing appointment, it's important to ensure that all required documents have been completed and signed. On this slide, you'll see some of the key listing documents that must be reviewed with your seller. These include Form 161, the Working with Real Estate Agents Disclosure, which explains agency relationships and representation options. Form 101, the Exclusive Right to Sell Listing Agreement, which establishes the brokerage's authority to market and sell the property. As you're completing this form, be sure to verify the listing price, listing term, compensation, seller information, and property information. You'll also need Form 140, the Residential Property and Owners Association Disclosure Statement. Remember, this form is completed by the seller, not the agent. Another important document is Form 141, the Mineral and Oil, Gas Rights Mandatory Disclosure Statement, which addresses required disclosures regarding mineral, oil, and gas rights. As we continue reviewing the required listing documents, there are several additional forms that may be needed depending on the property and transaction. One of these is Form 110, the Estimated Seller Net Sheet. The purpose of this form is to provide the seller with an estimated breakdown of their proceeds at closing. When reviewing this form, be sure to discuss the mortgage payoff, estimated closing costs, commissions, taxes, and estimated net proceeds. Another important document is Form 220, the Confirmation of Compensation, Agency, and Appointment. This form confirms agency relationships and compensation arrangements. You may also need Form 2A9T, the Lead-Based Paint Addendum. This form is required only if the property was built prior to 1978. Its purpose is to comply with federal lead-based paint disclosure requirements. As always, make sure all required forms are completed accurately and reviewed with your seller to ensure a smooth and compliant listing process. Step 2. Create the listing file. Immediately after the appointment, create a transaction file and upload all signed documents. Before moving forward, take the time to verify that everything is complete and accurate. Confirm that all required signatures have been obtained. Make sure all dates have been completed. Verify that all required initials are in place. Review the property information for accuracy and confirm that the seller's contact information is correct. Taking a few minutes to review your file now can help prevent delays, compliance issues, and unnecessary corrections later in the transaction. Step 3. Schedule property preparation. Once the listing file has been created, the next step is to discuss property readiness with your seller. Work together to determine what preparation may be needed before the property goes on the market. This may include cleaning, decluttering, staging, landscaping, minor repairs, paint touch-ups, pressure washing, or carpet cleaning. Every property is different, so take the time to identify the items that will have the greatest impact on presentation and marketability. Once the needed improvements have been identified, create a timeline for completion. Having a clear plan and timeline helps keep everyone on track and ensures the property is ready for a successful launch. Step 4. Order professional marketing. Every listing deserves a professional presentation. Once the property is being prepared, it's time to schedule your marketing services. This includes professional photography to showcase the property at its best. If appropriate for the property, schedule drone photography. You should also arrange for a video tour to help bring the property to life for potential buyers. If available and applicable, schedule a Matterport or 3D tour. Be sure to obtain floor plan measurements and prepare a property feature sheet highlighting the home's key features and benefits. These marketing assets will become the foundation of your listing presentation both online and offline. Remember, the quality of your marketing often determines the quality of your results. Step 5. Collect property information. The next step is to gather important property information that will help you accurately market the home and answer buyer questions. Be sure to collect utility information, HOA information, and HOA dues. Gather details about community amenities and local school information. Ask the seller about any recent improvements that have been made to the property. You should also obtain information regarding the age of the roof, HVAC system, and water heater. Collect appliance information, including any available details about age, brand, or warranties. If available, obtain a copy of the deed and survey. You should also gather any permits related to completed work on the property, if applicable. And finally, collect any warranty information that may transfer to the new owner, if applicable. The more complete your property information is upfront, the better prepared you'll be to market the property and serve potential buyers. Step 6. Create marketing materials. Once you've gathered the property information, it's time to create your marketing materials. Begin by preparing the MLS remarks, public remarks, and agent remarks. These descriptions should be accurate, informative, and designed for their intended audience. Next, create the property flyer that will be used both digitally and in print. Prepare your social media graphics to help promote the listing across multiple platforms. You should also create your coming soon graphics and just listed graphics so they're ready when needed. Don't forget to prepare your email campaign to announce the property to your database and sphere of influence. Finally, gather and prepare your open house materials. Having all of your marketing materials ready before launch helps ensure a professional and coordinated marketing campaign. Step 7. Enter listing into MLS. Once your marketing materials are prepared, it's time to enter the listing into the MLS. As you complete the MLS entry, verify that the property address is correct. Confirm the square footage and tax information. Review the school assignments and property features for accuracy. Make sure room dimensions are entered correctly. Verify that all photos have been uploaded. Check that the driving directions are accurate. Be sure to include complete showing instructions for cooperating agents. And most importantly, confirm that the seller's contact information is not displayed anywhere in the MLS entry. Before activating the listing, take the time to review the entire MLS entry for accuracy. A thorough review helps ensure the listing is professional, complete, and ready for the market. Step 8. Seller communication. Before activating the listing, call the seller. Take time to review the listing price and overall pricing strategy. Discuss the marketing plan so the seller understands how the property will be promoted. Review the showing instructions and any notice requirements. Set realistic expectations regarding showings and buyer activity. Discuss your open house strategy and schedule. And review your communication schedule so the seller knows when and how they can expect updates throughout the listing period. Remember, set expectations early. A well-informed seller becomes a better client. Step 10. Launch week marketing. Once the listing is active, it's time to begin your launch week marketing. Within the first 72 hours, implement your just listed campaign. Send an email blast to your database. Announce the listing to your sphere of influence. Use reverse prospecting to identify agents who may have buyers looking for a property like yours. Conduct agent-to-agent marketing to increase awareness within the real estate community. Schedule your open house. Send neighborhood invitations to help generate local interest and traffic. And post a video walkthrough to maximize online exposure. Remember, the first week is the most important marketing window. Maximize exposure immediately. Listing Launch Checklist. Before going active, use this checklist to ensure every step of the listing process has been completed. Confirm that the listing agreement has been signed. Verify that all agency documents have been signed. Make sure all required disclosures have been completed. Review the seller net sheet. Confirm that photography has been completed. Verify that property measurements have been completed. Make sure all property information has been collected. Review the MLS entry and confirm it is complete. Verify that seller expectations have been reviewed. Confirm that all marketing materials have been created. Once everything is complete, activate the listing. Then begin your launch campaign. Using a checklist like this helps ensure that every listing is properly prepared, professionally presented, and ready for a successful launch. As part of your listing preparation process, there are several additional items you should collect and confirm with the seller. Obtain a copy of the seller's driver's license. Gather mortgage payoff information. Collect the HOA management company's contact information if applicable. Make sure you have any gate or access codes needed for showings. Obtain information for all utility providers servicing the property. If available, request a copy of the survey. If the property is served by a septic system, obtain the septic permit, if applicable. If the property has a well, obtain the well permit, if applicable. Be sure to set up showing time to manage showing requests and communication. Coordinate the installation of the lockbox. Arrange for the yard sign installation. And finally, discuss and document the seller's preferred communication method and frequency. Collecting these items early helps create a smoother listing process and ensures you're fully prepared before the property goes active. Remember, successful listing launches don't happen by accident. They happen through systems, consistency, and execution. Follow the process, complete every step, and stay committed to excellence. Success begins with systems, consistency, and execution.